Welcome to Simflofy. In this tutorial, we will be walking through the steps needed to get started with your first Simflofy migration. Here, we will be setting up our migration job so that it moves our documents from our Google Drive folder to our Dropbox location. First, to begin using Simflofy, please make sure that you have all of the required software components installed on your workstation. For installation instructions, please see the Simflofy installation guide linked in the video description below. Once you have Simflofy installed, you can log into your Simflofy environment and begin setting up your first migration job. Before we begin, please note that some connections will require additional authentication before you can begin migrating your data. This authentication process can vary from connector to connector. In this tutorial, Google Drive and Dropbox connectors both require authentication. To view the specific authentication steps for these two connectors, see the instructions linked in the video description below. Also, before you begin your migration, you will want to set up and familiarize yourself with the Discovery Schema instances for the data located within each connection. This will allow Simflofy to look at the document properties so that we ensure that we are moving the information stored within each file to the proper locations. You can see here that the Dropbox Discovery provides the schema for the file and folder properties, while the Google Discovery provides the schema for the file properties only. In these two schema instances, you can identify what fields go with each column. This will be important later when we look at the mapping between these two sources. Now let's create your repository or repo connector. Your repository connector will be the place you want to move your files from. For this example, we will be using Google Drive as our repo connector. To get started, select Repository Connector from the navigation pane on the left, located in the Connectors section. Click the Create New Repository button at the bottom of the page. In the New Repository Connection form, name your connector, give it a description related to the migration project, and select Google Drive Repository as the repository type. Click the Save button to continue. On the new repository connector page, if this connector required authentication, then add that auth connector from the authentication connection drop-down box. For this example, we will choose our Google Drive auth connector. Once added, click Save to continue. Now, let's set up your output connection. Your output connection will be the place where you want to move or output your files to. In this case, your output connection is Dropbox. First, let's select Output Connections on the left navigation pane under the Connector section. Click the Create New Output Connection button at the bottom of the page. In the New Output Connection form, fill in a connector name, add a description, and select the appropriate connection type. In this case, it will be the Dropbox Output Connector. Click Save to continue. Add your authentication connector, select the Server tab, and in the target folder, clear any text listed. Click on the Save button to save your changes and view your new output connection. Now let's create your new migration job. In the navigation page, under the Migration section, click List Jobs. Next, click the Create New Job button at the bottom of the page. In the Create New Job form, name your new migration job, select your new repository connector, select your new output connector, leave the job type as Simple Migration, and click the Save button to continue. Next, we will edit the job to set up the job details. Click the Start Date to search for files dated from the first of the year to the end of the year. Click Standard Options to collapse this section. Next, click Notifications to expand this section. Select Always from the Job Run email notification and add your email address. This will allow Simflofy to email you once your job is complete, or if it could not complete due to errors. Now, click on the Query tab of your new job. Add the folder ID for the repository folder your files are being moved from. For Google Drive, this will be the string of text in the URL after the last backslash. Next, we will add a task to this job. Among other things, task will allow you to filter your documents so that you only bring over the data you need. You can also use tasks to check for duplicates amongst other useful filters. To view the list of available tasks, see the complete jobs task list linked in the description below. To add a task, click on the Task tab of your new migration job. Search for the task that you want to add. Click the green plus button to open the task details. Configure your task details and click the green Done button to add this task to your job. Continue this process to add any additional task. The next step is to map the connections between the two sources. Remember, earlier in the video, we ran discovery for each connector to get the file and folder schema in each location. We will use those discovery schema instances now to map our files. We begin this process first by clicking on the Mapping tab. We will start by selecting Manual from the Mapping Type dropdown. Next, select Google Drive as your discovery connector. Then select Drive File as the repository type. Now select Dropbox as your output discovery connector, and select File as your output type. We will now map the file properties. Look at your discovery schemas and the fields you identified that you want to bring over with the files. In this example, we will be using the file ID, file name, modified time, and folder name. Select drawfile.id from the repository field property. Select ID as the output field property, and click on the blue plus button to add this field map. Make sure any folder properties that were added have text as the type. Repeat these steps to map the rest of your fields, file name, and modified details. Once you have all of your fields mapped, click the Save button to save your changes. Now that your new job has been set up, you can run the job to begin moving your files. From the navigation pane on the left, select Run and Monitor Jobs under the Migration section. Click the play button next to your new migration job. The page will refresh at the time intervals you have set. You can also refresh the page manually by clicking the Refresh button. Once the job is finished, it will say Complete. Congratulations! You have now successfully set up and completed your first Simflofy migration job. Now you can view your output location and you will see all of your files have been transferred. Thank you for joining us in this Getting Started tutorial. For more information on how to use Simflofy, check out our other videos or see the links in the description below.